Day 469. Today, I got a new podcast alert for you guys. Today, if you guys go to youtube.com/ at Kent_HE, you see our latest podcast with Leah Whiteside. She's from the Community Builders. And the Community Builders, they have over 15,000 units that they have owned, operated, managed. And if you want to learn how nonprofits look at deals, how nonprofits can creatively structure deals to build affordable housing and how they do it so well and manage it so well. And honestly, where do they even get their funding sources for, right? Because that's always been a question I always had. When you have a nonprofit, how do you come up with the revenue to sustain operations? Because people still need to live. Even your employees in a nonprofit still got to put food on the table. Otherwise, you can't hire anybody, right? So that's gonna be a really, really good one for you to check out. Definitely check that one out. It's the latest podcast out. All right. So today we are looking at a property today for underwriting. This is live. 2115 32nd Ave North in Birmingham, Alabama, 35207. This property just went over contingent. I was looking at it yesterday, and this is in North Birmingham. So let me write that down. North Birmingham. And this property, condition of the home is, let's see, it looks above average kitchen, above average bathroom, not super modern, but it doesn't look like there's any flooring work needed. Okay, so this property is decent. Okay, not modern, but above average kitchen and bathrooms, painted, and no flooring work needed. Now, these are such awkward angles. I can't tell if they're trying to hide something or, I mean, this is just an ugly shower, but who takes a photo like this with this wall there? That doesn't make any sense unless you're trying to hide something or make it look bigger. Just weird. Okay, so I'm assuming it's in decent condition. So this is a good comp for us to add to our BRRRR list because how does the BRRRR strategy work, right? It depends heavily on the ARV, the after repair value that you come up with. And depending on that ARV, you're going to want to figure out, hey, how much capital can I pull back out? Because let's use an example, right? This property is worth 100 grand. So if you are looking to buy a property in a similar neighborhood, similar type finish, maybe it's the perfect comp would be the one next door, right? Same bed bath count, same lot size, etc. But usually that's not how it works because as you go across these man-made borders, such as this highway, you're completely different neighborhoods. You go across these creeks or these parks, and you're completely different neighborhoods. So that's why it's so important for you to understand as you build out your comps, what are you actually looking at, and how do you get confident that one, your ARV is correct? Because if you spend 20 grand on a property to buy it, and you spend another $50,000 renovating it, now you're all in at $70,000. Okay, now that you're all in $7,000, but if you're able to make the home worth 100 grand, you can now go get a 70% loan of value, debt service coverage ratio loan, and take back out 7% of the home's value, which is $70,000. So now you can rinse and repeat the same pile of cash, the same $70,000 over and over again, so that you can analyze and buy the next property. Okay. Now, here's what we're going to do. Now that we've written down these details there, I can just underwrite this deal for you guys really quick, and so we can go through the exercise of how to analyze this deal. So let me pull up my spreadsheet. We've got 99,900. The renovation on this home, let's say I don't need to refinish and the flooring. Maybe I'll set aside like 200, 300 square feet for painting, just in case I have some budget to replace anything that I notice is weird. The shower stall, I probably want to replace it because it looked a little tired there. I'm going to replace two of the toilet with a higher pressure flush so I can prevent any clogged toilet calls because that's going to add up to $400 every single time you get someone out there, anyways. So I'd rather get those ones so that I can avoid any sort of issues. Then I got $500 set aside for some landscaping. I got $1,500 for the roof repair. So that gives me a total Just in case. Oh, I put in some appliances. Let me put in a range because that wasn't in there, and a refrigerator. All right, so now that gives me a total rehab number of 8,772. Great. Now, how much can I rent this property for? If I go to affordablehousing.com and I go to the owner section and I go to the market rent estimator, plug in the address, plug in the bedroom count, I can see that on average for 25 units that are 3 bedrooms, the average rent within a 1.8 mile radius is 1152, 1150. I just to kind of be a little conservative there. For my property taxes, total property taxes is $80. So I'll put in 80 right here. And then my homeowner insurance is going to be 77. So I'll do equals 77 times 1.2. And that's going to be equals to 9240. So I'm adding a 20% premium by multiplying it by 1.2 because I want to understand that and be conservative that the insurance company is going to view my asset as a riskier asset. Because I'm assuming that this $77 estimate is for a primary residence, so someone's going to live there as their home. But an insurance company is going to view your asset as a riskier asset because it's an investment property, right? Just naturally how it goes. So that's why I'm adding 20% premium. Then I'm setting aside 10% of my rent every single month for maintenance. And this is so important because you know that the roof is going to get replaced at some point, even if you're not doing it now. If you don't do that, then you would be underestimating your expenses because you overestimated your profitability. So don't be that person. Don't ever believe someone that tells you there's no maintenance involved with it because that's not true. All right. Then I got 10% for property management, and I got 5% for vacancy. All right. So now, if I do a 25% down on this property, my down payment will be equals to B4, my asking price, multiplied by my down payment percentage, and F19, that's $25,000. At 2.5% set aside for closing costs, about $2,500. Probably a little low, but that's okay. I got $8,700 for my renovations, and then I got for my loan amount. My loan amount will be equals to my B4, my asking price minus my down payment percentage right here, and that's about 75 grand. At 7.5% interest rate, if all these numbers hold true, and I can rent this property out as a 3-bedroom for $1,150, I can cash for $166 a month, and this is 5.5% cash on cash return. And it's assuming a purchase price of about roughly 100 grand with an $8,700 rehab, 25% down, 7.5% interest rate. So here's what I'm thinking. Why did this person buy this property? Well, if you can get as $1,150 for rent and your interest rate is maybe a little bit lower, maybe you use your W-2 income or your tax returns to get that 30-year mortgage, then maybe you're at 6.3%. Okay, well, 7% mortgage interest rate would be 6.3. So you can see how dropping it by half a point in interest actually increase your cash and cash return by almost 1%. Now, obviously, this is not investment advice. I'm not soliciting any investments on this call. Just simply showing you all how I'm trying to get in the head of the buyer and what they bought it for. Okay. Now, let's say they underestimated their maintenance, right? Let's say instead of 10%, they said, oh, you know what? I'm just going to set aside $50 every single month for maintenance, which I think is ridiculously low, right? That part doesn't even cover like lawn service or HVAC maintenance, which is pretty silly. But now if they like, hey, I'm at 8% interest rate. And if they don't even think about vacancy, right? They think they're going to always be occupied. Now they're at 10%. So you can see how if you don't put in the right expenses, right, you might mislead yourself into thinking that something's a deal because you underestimate your expenses. And it was as simple as not thinking about, hey, the home's gonna be empty for some months, and I probably should have a little bit more maintenance because $50, $60, that doesn't even pass a sniff test, right? So those are the things that you would want to call out to yourself. So if you keep it at 7% interest rate, right? What purchase price can you buy this property at to achieve a cash and cash return of 10%? Again, I'm not saying 10% is a magical number, just simply showing all the work to achieve so that you guys can all adjust to figure out how do you arrive at the number that would make this a deal, quote unquote. So at 85 grand, this would still be 9.9%. Okay. So now you can decide whether or not this was worth the execution risk that you're taking on, right? Because what's execution risk? It's, do you believe that the contractor is going to show up and do what he or she said they're going to do and do it on time? Because if not, chances are your holding costs are going to go up. There's been something that they discover in the walls that where they say, hey, this is going to cost a lot more money. So these are all the factors going to come up in your investment journey. I've rarely ever seen anyone ever says, hey, it was on time and on budget. Rarely ever. So hopefully this was helpful, right? I hope you guys copied my homework, right? Analyze the same deal I analyzed today using the same spreadsheet. You guys want to copy the spreadsheet, just go to affordablehousing.io, go to the get deal analysis tool, plug in your name, email, your phone number. That's the fastest way for you to get a copy of the spreadsheet. And put it on your own YouTube channel. Because at some point, someone's going to ask you, hey, why do you think this is a deal? And at that point, I hope you can tell them, hey, I've been looking at deals for the past 469 days, and they're all not deals. Might that give you some confidence that you know what you're doing? I certainly hope so. All right. I hope you all have an amazing Saturday. Spend some quality time with your family and friends today, because that's what life is all about. I'll see you all tomorrow for day 470. Have a good one, everybody. And again, please don't forget to check out the latest podcast. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for caring about affordable housing. I can't wait to talk to you all again tomorrow.